Hi and welcome to Literary Hype and welcome to 2025. I am Stephanie, your Literary Hype Woman, and today I'll be looking back at my goals from 2024 to see if I accomplished them and showing you what I'm working on for 2025. If you did not see last year's video, then this board might look a little unfamiliar to you. This was my vision board for 2024, as is evidenced by the giant 2024 right in the middle of it. So I broke down my goals into a couple different things. First off, that draws everybody's attention right away is the wall of faces, and that is some authors that I wanted to interview throughout the year. There are 52 authors pictured here. I did interview 12 of them, so it's not quite at least half that I would like. I would like half. That's a good goal, is to get at least half of them. But I did get 12, and of the ones that I did get, some of them are pretty big names, you know, like Henry Winkler and Hannah Brown and V.E. Schwab. I haven't posted the V.E. Schwab yet. Oops. Spoiler alert, a V.E. Schwab interview's coming. Some of these other ones didn't have books come out in 2024, so that made it a little harder to get them. They do have books coming out in 2025. So you might see some of these faces on the 2025 board. This little stack of books has my overall reading goals for the year. The top book says read 80 books. I read 150 books. I was 40 pages away from finishing 151, so it was very close to 151. So I almost doubled what I set out to do. Read 20 nonfiction. No, I did not. If I'm remembering correctly, I got 9 or 10. Not great. Try manga. I did try manga. And I enjoyed it immensely, especially Spy Family is my favorite manga series. I also read The Way of the House Husband, which was enjoyable. I read a couple volumes of True Beauty, and I've read a couple volumes of Dark Moon. So I've dabbled a little bit. We'll talk more about my manga plans for the future here coming up. This green book is a bit of a joke. I meant it when I wrote it, but it didn't happen. Not even a little bit. And that was to write my reviews within a week. Yeah, that didn't happen. Not at all. Not even close. And then this bottom book says in-person book club. I did go to one in-person book club as the historical romance book club at Novel Neighbor. I did go to the first meeting. I've not been able to make it back, but I at least went to one. And you know, I didn't put a number on here, so I achieved that goal. This little picture of Kim Namjoon from BTS. I wanted to read 5 books that he recommended. I did not succeed at that. I read 1. Other goals that I had in 2025 was to launch Literary Hype podcast, which I did. There are 54 episodes up, if I'm remembering correctly, plus the trailer, so like 55, which is more than 1 a week. So I did succeed in the podcast. Patreon, I didn't fully succeed at because I did set up the account, and that's as far as I got. I had some goals for social media and 11K on Instagram. I'm at like 10.2, 10.3. So no. 1.1K on YouTube. I did reach that. I'm at 1.25. So props there. TikTok, 7,500. I didn't really put a lot of effort into TikTok this year because of the discussions on the bans and like if it was gonna go away. So I was like, why put effort into it if it's gonna just poof? So I did not reach that goal. Etsy, I did nothing for Etsy. I did nothing. Website revamp, I did rebuild literaryhypewoman.com. It looks very different than it did at the beginning of the year. It is much more colorful. It is much more me. It is much more fun. And I'll be talking a little bit more about what you can expect from some changes coming up on that website. Then there's all these Comic-Cons and book festivals. I did go to Emerald City, and I did panels there. I did go to Planet Comic-Con and I was press. I did go to C2E2 and 2 panels. I did not go to WonderCon. One day I will make it to WonderCon. San Diego, I did go to San Diego and it was a good old time. New York, went and did a panel. It was a good time. Y'all West, went as an influencer. Steamy LitCon, I went as an author's assistant, which was super fun. Shout out to Tracy Livesey. Y'all Fest, I went as an influencer. Wanted to go to another book festival, just any old book festival, and so I went to the St. Louis Teen Book Festival. The Southern Festival of Books, did not make it down there. Oops, maybe next year. Then down here at the bottom, it says book blurb. And you know what? I did actually accomplish that thanks to Dr. Travis Langley and Win Goodfriend. They asked me to blurb their book, The Handmaid's Tale Psychology, so I did get that done. Another bookish thing I accomplished, which was not on this vision board, it was on my personal vision board, was to finish a book that I'd been working on. It was not mine, not my book. I was the editor on this book for an author in Finland. And so I was editing her English version of the book, and that did publish. So that was the first time I got to see my name in a book like that. No, that's not true. I published poetry when I was a child. Do not look that up. Do not look that up. It was terrible. Do not. But anyway, the first time as an adult publishing a book. So that was really cool to do. And I've edited her second book, which she's planning to release sometime soon. This one's very different from her first one. This one's a Bible study and not a novel. So we'll see what happens next with that. And now let's talk 2025. This is my vision board for 2025. Ta-da! This time I did it a little differently because Literary Hype podcast and the YouTube channel are doing well at enticing authors to come. I only put authors on the board that I have not already had on the show. There are a lot of like in my dreams authors on here, which, you know, could happen. It could happen. There's some debuts. There's some people that have books coming out this year. Just a lot of fun. So I want to have 30 that have not already been on the show before, and 15 repeat guests. I did not put any repeat guests on the board. I might like keep a tally and like write down who they were so I can keep track of how many repeat guests. But that adds up to 45, and I want to do 50 episodes. I'm giving myself some grace. So 50 episodes is what I wrote on here. So that gives me 5 episodes that could go either way. So we've got Abby Jimenez, Rebecca Yaros, Emily Henry, Jojo Moyes, Kira Cass. Even though she's not writing books right now, I think we would be the best of friends as bookish K-pop girlies. Anne Liang, Chloe Gong, Susan Lee, Stephanie Garber, Marie Benedict, Lee Bardugo, which I know a lot of you have asked for. You've also asked for Sarah J. Maas. I didn't even bother putting it on here because she doesn't do many interviews. Colleen Hoover is another one that a lot of people have asked for. Kara Tanamachi, Jasmine Guillory, Alexa Martin, Marie Liu, Mary Kubica, Axie O, Pierce Brown, Ruth Ware, Elle Kennedy. There are a couple empty spots here, and that's because I misplaced the pictures for them. That would be Kat Cho and Kennedy Ryan. In conjunction with all of the faces is this little rocky sculpture thing up here. And I wrote on it balance because I need to be a little bit better at the balance this year. I get very excited and I want to talk to all the authors about all the books and overwhelm myself and then kind of freak out a little bit. So I want to work on my balance this year of selecting the interviews and books that mean the most to me going into it, and not just because it sounds cool. On this year's stack of books, we once again have read 80 books total. I have a tendency to go overboard, but the goal is at least 80 books. Read 20 books that I've owned before 2025. I have a ton. I have not read a good chunk of these books, and I need to work on that. The blue book says read 20 nonfiction. I did not reach that goal last year, so it is rolling over and starting afresh with 20 new nonfiction books, which really shouldn't be that hard. When I read 150 books in a year, at least 20 of them should be nonfiction. It's not, I don't know what's wrong with me, I'm sorry. Read 5 classics. I haven't read classics in a while. So I want to get back to that a little bit. And then journal my favorite quotes from books. I used to do that, I've fallen away from it. I still have the journal, so I need to finish it out. And then once again, we have a little RM down here, being super cute reading, because I want to read 5 books that he enjoys and has recommended ideally before they come out of the military in June. But, you know, I'll probably get distracted. As long as I can do it by the end of the year, we're good. These goals, as well as several others, are on a bingo card that I made because after I had already put in the work on this, I saw that Vision bingo cards were trending all over TikTok and I had to participate. So I made one for Literary Hype, do a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, utilize Storygraph more, launch the Patreon, read 5 of Namjoon's recs, unhaul 30 books. We'll see if I manage to do that one. That one's gonna be the hardest. Participate in 2 readathons. Read the 20 books owned before 2025. Read 5 writing craft books. Because I do want to spend some time this year working on the creative writing side of things. I haven't really done a lot of that lately, well over a year, just because everything's been so crazy. So I would like to slow things down a little bit and get back to some creative writing for myself. Because I cannot look at another author who goes, oh, when's your book coming out? And I'm like, I haven't finished a draft yet. Leave me alone. I can't do it. So I need to finish it just so I can say that I finished it when these authors ask me when they can read my stuff. Complete a new manga series. Read 15 diverse authors. Yes, I know that 15 out of 80 is a very low percentage. That's just the bare minimum, just so I can have something marked off on my bingo board. I do aim for a higher percentage just in general. Read 5 classics, write reviews weekly. At least take the time to sit down weekly and write them. Maybe not keep up, because that's really hard, but at least write 1 a week. And not like binge like writing 15 in one session and then be burned out. Launch new pages of my website. So if you've been on the updated literaryhypewoman.com, you might have noticed some coming soons. One of them being a Comic-Con Central, where I will be writing up more coverage of the Comic-Cons that I attend. Things you need to know before you go to the con, like best tips for getting books, what to pack, that kind of stuff, as well as what to be excited for about these specific cons, how it went, things I enjoyed. If there was big news dropped, like at San Diego, be like, hey, this is what happened, and tell you all about it. So that's one of the pages that'll be coming soon to literaryhypewoman.com. Journal quotes from at least 5 books, a New York Comic-Con panel, read 80 books total, be a guest on someone else's podcast. I've had conversations about that one, we just haven't pulled the trigger, so we'll see what happens. Read 5 debut authors, host 10 live reading sprints, attend book club in person 5 times, read 10 books in 1 month, read 20 nonfiction, post 50 new podcast episodes, post 1 blog a month. That's different from the Comic-Con coverage or the book reviews, like something more personal about like what's going on. And attend Romance Con. In case you haven't seen, I am an influencer for Romance Con this year, very exciting. So if you want to go, there's like 140 something authors at least coming, so if there's a lot to choose from. If you want to join me and these like 100 plus amazing authors that are going to be there, there is a code for that. It's LiteraryHype, and that gets you 15% off tickets, so definitely check that out. While balance is the main word for my 2025 reading literary hype goals, the other one is consistency and making sure that I'm posting regularly. The podcast has definitely helped with that, because I do try to post new episodes on Tuesdays and then like bonus episodes on Thursdays. And then I have my TBR game that I post on the 1st of the month, but beyond that, there's like no real consistency on my posting for YouTube. So I want to get better at that so that you know when to count on me. I want you to be able to count on me for when I can have more stuff. Social media goals with Instagram to 12K. I did still put TikTok on here just in case it sticks around. And 8K for there. 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Also with YouTube, I'm aiming for 1 million views. I'm at like 650,000 so far since I launched my channel, so I want to get to 1 million because that sounds amazing. I just got Blue Sky. I'm brand baby new on Blue Sky, so that's a 200 followers on Blue Sky? I don't know. We'll find out if that's realistic or not. I do want to get the Patreon up and going, so be looking for that at some point this year, I hope. 50 podcast episodes. Hopefully 52, but you know, 50 is a nice round number, and I like a good round number. And then this little computer with some stats that I want to hit for the website, and that includes 75 new reviews, 10 blogs, and 10 convention recaps. And then once again at the bottom we have the events: Emerald City Comic Con, Planet Comic Con, Indiana Comic Con, which I haven't talked about publicly, but I'll be involved in the shenanigans at Indiana. Look for more information on that as we get closer to that convention in March. New York Comic Con, C2E2, San Diego, and WonderCon. I want to get to WonderCon. I've heard it's a good time, just have not made it. Y'all Fest and Y'all West and Fan Expo Chicago. Those are also some that I frequent. I did want to mix it up a little bit this year, so I added some new ones. I've been saying I was going to go to Dragon Con for so long. I need to make that happen. So maybe this will be the year that that does. GalaxyCon is another convention company that I've seen popping off a little bit lately. My sister just went to one and said it was a good time, so I need to look into that and see if there's anything possible in the works for that. And then RomanceCon. So that's a look at my goals for 2025 for all things bookish, from the Literary Hype YouTube channel to the podcast to the website to the social media to who I want to have on the show to my personal reading goals. So there's a lot of stuff on this board that I want to accomplish. So I guess I better go get to work, right? What are your goals for 2025? Tell me in the comments like how many books you're trying to read, if you're trying to try a new genre, what else bookish you were trying to accomplish in 2025. And if you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the Literary Hype YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.